In today's video, I searched the whole internet and bought some of the weirdest airsoft guns I could possibly find. First up, we will be unboxing them and then putting them to the ultimate test with a full chronograph and shooting test to see their performance. So we got some crazy stuff lined up in today's video. I got a tiny little full auto only pistol, a crazy grenade launcher, and super weird and rare gas blowback rifles, and even a rifle with a paintball trigger. I hope you guys enjoy episode 2 of this series. Now let's jump straight into the unboxing. Alright guys, so the first airsoft gun of today's video is the Army Armament, and this is the R610-3. And this guy comes in at $84. My gloves are like breaking, but at least I could kind of comes in handy sometimes in unboxing these boxes. Let's see what this guy's got. Yeah, buddy, we got a pink high kappa. So as you can see, this guy is pretty interesting. Obviously in that pink color, making it very much stand out than other airsoft high kappas. I think the grip is like paint or something like that. It kind of just feels a little bit more like sticky than normal, if that makes sense. I don't know why it feels like that, but definitely kind of weird. It looks like we have a lime cat slide on the top right there, but as soon as I peeled off that little sticker on it, it kind of like got rid of some of the paint on the top. So definitely not off to a good start with the paint quality of the slide or of the airsoft gun in general. I'm not sure who messed up on that one. You also have some cool little cutouts on the slide right there at the front, some cool little silver iron sights. They are not painted as well, so it kind of just looks like they gave up on that. I'm not sure why they didn't just paint those. It kind of just looks like the trigger is like sticking out further than it should. I'm not sure why they made it look like that, but definitely looks pretty awkward. And then obviously we have this crazy extended mag release right here, and it's actually angled slightly at a weird angle too, but definitely makes the airsoft gun look a little weird. And then here is the magazine, pretty much a standard high kappa looking magazine. It is a double stack one where you put the green gas at the bottom. All right, but real quick, let's actually test out the recoil of this guy and then see how it shoots. Woo! All right. Shoots somewhat fast and sort of snappy. I'm curious to see how the accuracy will be. So without further ado, let's actually chronograph this guy and see how it shoots. All right, looks, oh wow, it's actually pretty impressive for a pistol. So we got 334.2 FPS with 1.04 joules. Now let's see what this guy's got for the 50-foot shooting test. Definitely kind of going up with the hop up there. It was kind of actually overhopped the BBs a little bit. We had to kind of aim down here with the iron sights. Well, once I actually figured that out, we got a nice little grouping on the target right there. Now let's see how fast this guy shoots. Actually not too bad for 80 bucks, besides kind of like the cheap externals and weird looks, not the worst shooting pistol I've ever seen. All right, next up we have the Wee High Kappa $165 airsoft pistol. And of course you guys see that silver sticker on the top right, we got the full auto version with this guy. All right, we got some big dinosaur vibes on this box. We got the T-Rex, the Allosaurus, the Brontosaurus, the Dino, I don't even know how to pronounce that. And then what we got is the Velociraptor, the littlest guy on the list. All right, but let's actually check this guy out. Ooh, look at this little guy, a tiny little magazine, and looks like we got this guy in a bag. Let's go ahead and get this out and check it out. All right, so this guy's definitely small and pretty hilarious, but it's got some cool features too. We can see on the top of the outer barrel, right here on the cutout on the slide, it says .45 ACP, which is like the real round for this guy, so pretty cool. And this guy, of course, shoots full auto like you guys saw in the box, so kind of making it a little bit different than other high kappas. Normally, high kappas do not shoot full autos. Pretty cool little fiber optic reader and front sight. The front one actually has some two little like orange stems for the actual coloring, and then the front one actually has a green one, so definitely a little interesting setup right there. But surprisingly for this guy's size, it actually fits my hand pretty nicely and somewhat feels like a normal size pistol. And then here is the little gas black magazine right here. It is a full double stack like the normal ones, fitting with our theme of a baby high kappa. This guy's just a little bit smaller than normal. Pretty much any angle from this slide is basically unique. If you look at these top little 4 holes on the top front of this little slide right here, you can actually see the little copper inner barrel right there. So I know this guy is super small, but it does have a full metal slide, so I'm quite curious to see how the recoil is of this guy. Let's test it out right now. All right, that's not too bad. All right, this guy's a pretty crazy kickback. Obviously helping with that full metal slide and the full auto, this guy's kickback is pretty insane. So of course, this guy just does full auto only, so we'll just do the RPS test, and then with that, we'll get a reading of FPS as well. Whew, so about 256.4 FPS with 0.61 joules. Whew, looks like we got about 6.4 rounds per second. And let's try to test out with an extended mag as well. Woo! Definitely going to the right side of the target with this grouping, but yeah, honestly not too bad for a full only pistol. I could tell the BBs were trying to go up just a little bit as well, so I had to aim down just a little bit like that first one, but honestly not too bad for a full auto pistol. But of course now let's see how fast this guy will empty the rest of the magazine. Not too shabby. Oof. All right, next up we got this big boy green case, and of course we had to get a grenade launcher for the video because why the heck not? This guy comes in at $192. And this guy is the Ares GL12/13 M3020 grenade launcher, and this is the version 2. But overall, very cool experience they gave you actually with this box. I was kind of expecting some kind of boring like cardboard box like normal, but this guy we got a cool little case. So quite the cool little feature with this guy. And ooh, comes with a very own carrying handle. All right, let's go ahead and unlatch this and check it out. Ooh, hallelujah. Damn, that thing looks crazy. All right, this guy's definitely my favorite so far of the video. This thing looks absolutely insanely crazy. So basically there's like this really cool little end cap at the front, as you can hear right there. Has a nice little pop sound when you're taking this guy off too. This guy has lots of crazy little weird features. So first thing this guy actually comes with is a little foregrip down here. You actually have to take this little thing and pull it back, and then you can actually switch it down like that. It's pretty much like a similar style foregrip to a MP7. You also get a ambidextrous fire and safe mode right there, so that's pretty cool as well. And this guy actually comes with a full stock as well, and it's actually fully adjustable. So you can actually press this little button near the back of the grenade launcher, and you actually take out the stock to different levels. So that's what it looks like when it's all the way back in the very farthest position right there. Pretty sweet. And it looks like you actually have a full like adjustable sight on the actual top of this guy. So you just pop this guy up, the back one, and you actually pop the front one up as well. You actually can line up the different distances on the back of this iron sight to the front ones. And obviously how that works is if you aim up the 50, the lowest distance to the front iron sight, it's basically like a full horizontal and you're basically shooting straight. But if you go all the way to the 351, you'll obviously be tilted way up here when you're shooting it. So definitely a really cool feature with a grenade launcher. I just realized I had these Airsoft safety glasses on the whole time. That's embarrassing. And my favorite feature about this guy is definitely this little button next to the trigger. Right when you press that, the little section right there opens up where you can actually put the grenade shells themselves. So definitely a really cool little feature. Pretty sick. And of course, we have a whole bunch of different grenade shells to actually test out with the launchers. So without further ado, let's go ahead and test it out. All right, first up, let's do this grenade shell. Oh! Oh no, I forgot the cap was on. Oh no. That is a big fail. Oh man. All right, let's try that one more time. Here goes nothing. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! That's sick. Next up, we got this bad boy. This is gonna have like a little spread of some BBs. Oh, that's not working for some reason. All right, this guy's done. I tried to reset these a couple different times, and I tried out a whole bunch of different grenades of the same kind of like style, but yeah, it's kind of just too cold today, and the O-rings are kind of just shot. So let's try another one. All right, our last chance is this golden boy. Let's check it out. Here goes nothing. Dude, that was so much smoke. That gold grenade definitely did wonders, so let's try that one more time. Yeah, that one's definitely the best. This guy definitely is super weird. I mean, this thing looks absolutely insane if you were to just look at this guy and not know what it is. But I absolutely love this grenade launcher, and my favorite part is definitely that button by the trigger that actually lets you put in the shells. It's definitely really satisfying to do that. All right, guys, up next, we have a gas blowback submachine gun, and this guy is the WeTech SM8, and this guy is $199. So as you can see kind of on the box, this guy sort of looks like a wannabe MP7. I've always wanted to get one of these and test it out and see if it is actually any good. I've always been curious to see if these are like the budget-friendly MP7s. Obviously, it doesn't look as good, but it has a different kind of style to it. All right, so here is our little makeshift MP7 that WeTech made. Pretty interesting to see how this guy would shoot. This is like kind of like almost half the price as normal MP7s, just because it looks a little different. Obviously, probably doesn't have the same internals either, so pretty curious to see how this guy will perform. This guy is actually made from full plastic for the actual body itself, but it does have some metal parts like the fire select, the magazine release, and parts of the stock right there. So obviously the back iron sight is pretty much the same as the actual MP7, but the front iron sight is definitely a little bit more quirky than that. I'll show you guys a little bit closer of a view of what it looks like. The body has some quirks too, like some crazy cutouts in the front right there, and obviously coming to the back as well, and some crazy little like upside down and upside up like triangle looking designs for the front right there. Definitely an interesting design. Ooh, that stock is tight in there. It's like needs to be worn in or something. That's crazy. So you do have some different cutouts in the actual slide to actually go to different positions. So there is position 1, position 2, and then obviously you can go to all the way to collapse as well. As far as the magazine goes, it is obviously gas blowback and is a double stack one as well. And pretty much from what I can tell, this guy is exactly the same as a normal gas blowback MP7 magazine. Now let's actually test out the recoil and see how it compares with the KWA or Tokyo Marui gas blowback MP7. Woo! Ooh, damn. That's pretty crispy. Not too bad. Definitely was not expecting that. Not too bad. The extras need to be like broken in. Like the stock is super hard to like get out. It's like takes a lot of force. The magazine too takes a crazy amount of force to get in and out. So definitely interesting. All right, first guy, it looks like it's shooting about 364.7 FPS with 1.24 joules. All right, now let's actually test the RPS. Woo. Whew, looks like we're shooting about 12.1 rounds per second. Not too shabby for this guy. So this guy is definitely overhopping the BBs quite a bit like the first two pistols, but definitely not a terrible grouping. Pretty precise right there. I don't know why they made this magazine so hard to get out. It's crazy. All right, now let's see how fast we can shoot the rest of these on semi-automatic. Woo! There goes the gas. All right, this guy's been sitting in my garage for like over a year, and I had no idea what video to actually put this guy in, but this video definitely works, being some of the weirdest airsoft guns I've ever seen. And this guy is the KJW KC02 version 2, and this guy is a semi-auto carbine and it's gas blowback. And this guy comes in at $280. Very nice little box. It has like a full like white outlined version of the airsoft gun on the box. It just kind of looks very professional and nice. They didn't really have to do anything crazy, but they just kind of went with a simplistic design. Definitely looks pretty good though. I think there's nothing. Ooh, almost just yeeted off the table. Definitely a very heavy owner's manual. Wow, these pictures are so good, damn. KJW definitely has the best owner manual I've ever seen. Dang, this thing is so cool. I cannot wait to shoot this guy. And I actually have a little surprise coming up for this guy as well. This guy is actually based off of the Ruger 1022, and the real one is actually chambered in 22 LR rounds. Obviously, this guy is just shooting 6mm plastic BBs, but in case you're curious, that's what the real one is. Obviously adjustable to different lengths like any other M4 stock. You also have a M4 grip right here, and then up towards the front, you get some kind of like makeshift quad Picatinny mount rail up here. But that's obviously very good because you can add any accessories you want, lasers, flashlights, or grips to the front of this guy. So definitely makes it a lot more tactical with this setup. But this guy is very nice because you're actually able to adjust the hop up on the go on the top of this guy with this little wheel right here. And then you also get some really cool iron sights. If you press these buttons on the back, they'll actually pop up. So pretty sweet. The iron sights are a very nice little mixture. It has a little circle in the back and then a super nice little fiber optic with a green little insert for the front one up there. And then here is the little bolt system on the side. And then to actually get out the magazine, there is a little tiny button down here right next to the actual trigger. So you actually press that in and the magazine will actually come out. Kind of works really well with your thumb when you're trying to take out the magazine. Definitely a very weird design. It has like this crazy little like plastic box to actually insert into the magazine on the top of this guy. And then the rest of it is just like a simple kind of like double stacked gas blowback magazine. But that's not it with this guy. I got a really cool accessory for this guy as well. Not only did I get some crazy packing peanuts in this box, I got a full HPA drum mag for this guy. It was so long ago when I bought this, I actually don't even remember the price on this guy, but I think it was upwards of like $200 just for this magazine. So once you get a 9-volt battery and plug it up to this guy, you can actually just press this little button down here and it is full electric winding. So once you press that, it'll make a crazy little sound and that will actually wind up the BBs into the magazine. The only weird thing is they didn't have like a short magazine version, so when I put this thing in here, it absolutely looks insane. As you can see, definitely a little wonky, but I think this magazine is definitely gonna take this airsoft gun to the next level. So without further ado, let's go ahead and test it out. So first, let's just try this guy with the standard propane loaded airsoft magazine, and then we'll go on to that drum mag up next. Damn, yeah, this guy's definitely shooting pretty hot. 457.6 FPS with almost 2 joules, 1.95. Definitely overhopping the BBs, but as you can see, an excellent grouping right there to the top of the target. I just had to aim down just a little bit. Let's go ahead and scoot back and see what this guy's got about like twice the distance. But first, let's empty the rest of this magazine. Damn, okay, that's a lot better. Those 3.2s definitely made a big difference. All right, yeah, that's more like it. That is a super solid grouping right there. Wow, that is very impressive for this guy. We got a whole bunch on the red and even one on the yellow as well. Very nice, my guy, very nice. Let's see how fast we can chew this guy on semi-automatic with the drum mag now. Alright guys, up next we definitely have one of the weirdest airsoft guns of the video, and this guy is the G&G SSG-1, and this guy comes in at $320. This guy is the first one in the video that's powered by a battery. This is kind of a cool little map on the back. It actually shows obviously like G&G armament, like where they actually ship all of their stuff to, so that's actually really cool. It has like a whole worldwide map showing all their like routes, so that's actually really cool. Ooh. Come on, box, work with me. There we go. All right, but as you guys can see, this thing is a little bit different than most airsoft rifles. So first, coming back to the stock, it has this weird like swivel system. So basically, if you actually try to get the stock lower, kind of like this, you can make it to different positions while going downward. So you can make it ooh, go all the way down there, which is absolutely insane. I guess it's like, in case you want to put this on your shoulder and do some kind of like paintball, like double triggering kind of angle, I guess they have this weird stock, so you can basically do that if you would want. It has a full rotary hop-up, as well as has a MOSFET included, so hopefully this thing will shoot very nice and crispy. And what's really weird about this guy as well is if you come to the front, obviously is this crazy like outer barrel. It's super thick, way bigger than the normal outer barrel sizes for like standard airsoft rifles. It's kind of quirky, obviously no rails at all, but they do have two little rails at the front right here, which is quite interesting. I'm not sure why you would put like a red dot sign on that one, so maybe it's for like a zoom camera or something like that. I have no idea. And we also got this crazy like see-through magazine that you can see like all the spring system. It kind of comes in handy because it has these little tiny like markings to show like 60 rounds left, 50 rounds left, and 30 rounds left. So that's actually kind of cool little system right there. I think this guy holds maybe about 100 BBs. This guy does have a MOSFET, so it should shoot pretty crispy. We do have our 7.4 volt LiPo in here, so let's go ahead and see how this guy shoots. Ooh, you could like pull back the whole trigger almost to like the last position, and then it shoots like the last little millimeter there. So pretty interesting. You can actually feel like the little micro switch go off. It's a pretty cool feeling. All right, now let's see the full auto. Not too bad. All right, let's put that stock down and now we're ready to go. Looks like this guy's shooting about 371.1 FPS with 1.28 joules. This guy's shooting about 11.4 rounds per second. Let's see how this guy shoots at about 50 feet. All right, wow, this guy absolutely lasered the target. This guy's gonna have to do a second test at about twice the distance, but let's actually see how fast this guy can shoot first. Definitely not too shabby. All right, so for about 100 feet there, give or take, not actually too bad for this guy, pretty impressive. And this is obviously all aiming without iron sights, so definitely not too bad. We even got a nice little group of 3 on the red right there, almost 1 on the yellow as well. Looks like we have about 50 shots left. Let's see how fast this guy will empty the rest of the BBs on full auto. All right, guys, we got the grand finale up next, and of course, this guy comes in the most boring box. This guy comes in at $364, and this is the Black Edition WeTech 888 PCC gas blowback airsoft rifle. They really cheaped out in this box. There's absolutely nothing on here. Jeez. All right, let's check this guy out. Of course, we got the instruction manual right here, kind of a weird little like red coloring, and they actually changed their logo color to red with this instruction manual. Not sure why they did that, but pretty cool actually. Damn, looks like it comes with like a AR wrench for the rail. That's pretty cool. Looks like there's the tool included to load up the magazine. So at first glance, this guy kind of looks like a standard 416, but this guy definitely has some weird stuff going on. And you definitely could tell one of the weird things with this little magazine. I mean, that is definitely not a standard airsoft rifle magazine. So this thing kind of combines the aspects of a 416 and also kind of like a little pistol. So it's definitely an interesting airsoft gun to say the least. You get some features obviously like that full stock back there, fully adjustable as well to different stages. And of course, the other kind of main features that you see with most airsoft rifles, like, you know, semi-automatic, safety, full auto. You also get a really nice, like, full metal quad rail up here. And this thing feels super solid. Usually, sometimes, like, airsoft guns will have sort of like a little bit of, like, wiggle room between the rail and the actual body himself. This one does not. It's super solid. Basically feels like it is glued together. The only thing I really have a issue with so far feeling this guy is obviously the stock is a little bit plain, but nothing that I wouldn't really be too worried about. Of course, you pretty much have that standard 416 iron sights on the rear and front, so you got both of those bad boys. If you're used to 416s, you get that included as well. So this magazine is pretty much going to resemble like a shape of a 9mm magazine for the real steel one, but pretty cool nevertheless. Kind of like looks basically like the same shape as a Glock magazine that you'd be familiar with if you shot some airsoft Glocks. It is a double stacked magazine as well. So if I were to guess, maybe like high 30s to maybe 50 BBs in this single magazine, and then obviously you fill the green gas down there. WeTech is definitely known for their nice gas blowback recoil, so hopefully this thing will have a very nice crisp blowback. I'm a little worried about the magazine because obviously it holds the same, if not more than a standard gas blowback rifle magazine, but the only thing is the actual volume for the magazine because it is so small. So I'm worried about it actually cycling through all of the rounds in the magazine before the gas runs out. I think I'm gonna try to do propane for the actual shooting test in today's video. Uh-oh, you hear that? It's leaking, boys. Never a good thing when you first fill your airsoft magazine up for the first time and it's already leaking. That's big sad. Damn. All right, let's get into this. Ooh. Okay, it's definitely pretty much the same recoil as the rifle one. Damn, boys. Do some full auto. Yeah. All right, we got 384.6 FPS with 1.37 joules. Let's put a fresh new mag and test the RPS now. Ooh, that's pretty quick. Damn, looks like this guy's shooting about 8.6 rounds per second. Wow, that is a super solid grouping on the target. Basically all of them on the target except for that one right there. And we got a super tight grouping on the red and blue right there. So super good for this guy. So that means we got to run it back with a second test, of course, to test the range of this guy a little bit more. But let's actually first see how fast this guy can empty the rest of the shots on semi-automatic. So for this guy, he was overhopping the BBs like crazy. I was having to aim all the way down here. It's not insanely accurate. A lot of them are missing to the left and right. But for about 100 feet away, this isn't the worst grouping I've ever seen with a gas black rifle. Let's actually try one more test from that same range, but let's actually go ahead and switch the BBs up. Instead of .20s, let's try 3.2 grams. This mag is not trying to feed the BBs very well. Definitely not ideal. Well, it looks like the magazine left the chat. So it looks like we got one shot over here to the left, one on the lower section, and we got 3 actually on the target. Definitely a big improvement using those 3.2 grams.